Hey gamers, today we're diving deep into a topic that I think is going to hit home for a lot of you. Underrated games. You know the ones. Those hidden gems that didn't get the spotlight they deserve, but are absolutely worth playing. Whether it's because they flew under the radar, were overshadowed by bigger releases, or just didn't get enough love, these games deserve more attention. So, let's jump into 30 underrated games that will blow you away if you give them a chance. A Plague Tale: Innocence. Set in 14th century France during the Black Plague, players follow siblings Amicia and Hugo as they struggle to survive the Inquisition and hordes of plague-ridden rats. The game masterfully blends stealth, puzzles, and survival elements while exploring themes of family, resilience, and hope. Its emotional story and atmosphere are enhanced by beautiful visuals and sound design, making it a deeply immersive experience. Titanfall 2. This first-person shooter offers some of the most fluid movement mechanics ever seen in the genre, with parkour elements like wall running and double jumping. What really sets Titanfall 2 apart, though, is its fantastic single-player campaign, which mixes inventive level design with a touching story about the bond between a pilot and his Titan, a large mech. The multiplayer is also highly innovative, but the game was sadly overshadowed by bigger titles at launch. Hollow Knight. This indie gem is a beautifully crafted Metroidvania that takes players through the haunting world of Hallownest, an underground kingdom teeming with secrets. Hollow Knight is praised for its tight platforming, challenging combat, and stunning hand-drawn art. The game's lore is deep and mysterious, revealed slowly through exploration and encounters with its quirky yet melancholic characters. Prey 2017, a sci-fi first-person game where players navigate the Talos On space station, battling shape-shifting aliens. Prey offers a lot of freedom in how you approach combat and problem-solving, from upgrading your character with alien abilities to hacking and crafting items. The game's design encourages experimentation, and its atmosphere is eerie and tense, with plenty of hidden stories and environmental storytelling. Slay the Spire. This is a unique deck-building roguelike where players build a deck of cards as they ascend the spire, battling monsters, making strategic decisions, and crafting powerful combos. With its blend of turn-based strategy, roguelike elements, and deep replayability, Slay the Spire is highly addictive. Despite its brilliance, it has remained more of a cult hit among fans of the genre. The Talos Principle. A philosophical puzzle game that challenges players not only with complex puzzles, but also with existential questions about life, consciousness, and AI. Set in a mysterious, beautifully crafted world filled with ruins and advanced technology, the game encourages exploration and intellectual engagement. The narrative, delivered through texts and terminals, is as thought-provoking as the puzzles themselves. Dishonored: Death of the Outsider. An action stealth game set in the grim, magical world of Dunwall. This standalone expansion to the Dishonored series allows players to take on the role of Billy Lurk, who is on a mission to kill the enigmatic outsider. The game offers multiple ways to tackle objectives, emphasizing player choice and creativity. It blends stealth, supernatural abilities, and a rich world, but is often overlooked compared to the main entries in the series. Hades. In this roguelike dungeon crawler, you play as Zagreus, the son of Hades, as you attempt to escape the underworld. Hades stands out for its fast-paced combat, tight controls, and rich narrative that develops through each attempt to escape. The game features excellent voice acting, beautiful art, and deep character interactions, setting it apart from typical roguelikes. Divinity: Original Sin 2. A turn-based RPG that allows players immense freedom in how they approach the game's complex story and combat. You can play solo or with up to 3 other players, and the game's deep mechanics allow for creative solutions in combat and environmental manipulation. The game also features cooperative multiplayer with rich character customization and tactical combat that rewards thoughtful planning. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. A hauntingly beautiful game that tells the story of Senua, a warrior who embarks on a journey into Viking hell to save her lover's soul. Hellblade explores themes of mental illness, with Senua hearing voices and seeing hallucinations, represented through excellent sound design and visual effects. The combat is intense, but the focus is on the deeply emotional and psychological narrative. The Banner Saga Trilogy. a tactical RPG set in a world inspired by Norse mythology, with a focus on hand-drawn visuals and meaningful choices. Players lead a caravan of survivors through a dying world, with turn-based combat that requires strategic thinking. The choices you make in the story directly affect the fates of characters and the outcome of the game, giving a sense of weight and consequence to every decision. Control, an action-adventure game from Remedy Entertainment set in the Federal Bureau of Control, a mysterious agency investigating supernatural phenomena. Control offers players telekinetic powers and fluid gunplay, with a bizarre and eerie narrative that blends elements of the surreal with a deep sense of atmosphere. The game's brutalist architecture and shifting environments create a world that feels alive and dangerous. Pyre. From the creators of Bastion and Transistor, Pyre is a unique blend of visual novel and fast-paced tactical battles, presented as a sort of fantasy sports competition. Players guide a group of exiles through an otherworldly purgatory, building relationships and making key decisions that affect the narrative's outcome. The game is beautifully stylized, with an engaging story that rewards multiple playthroughs. Battle Chasers: Night War. Inspired by classic JRPGs, Battle Chasers: Night War is based on the comic series of the same name. The game features turn-based combat, exploration, and dungeon crawling, with a striking art style and deep character customization. Though it offers a lot of what fans of old-school RPGs love, it flew under the radar due to limited marketing. Mad Max, an open-world action game set in a brutal post-apocalyptic wasteland. Players control Max as he scavenges for resources, builds up his car, the Magnum Opus, and battles raiders. The game features satisfying vehicular combat and a bleak, atmospheric world. Despite its strong gameplay, it didn't achieve the recognition it deserved, overshadowed by other open-world titles of the time. A sci-fi action RPG with Dark Souls-inspired combat, The Surge 2 offers a unique limb targeting system, allowing players to strategically dismantle enemies piece by piece. Set in a dystopian future where technology has spiraled out of control, the game features challenging combat and customization, but never quite reached the mainstream despite its solid mechanics. Ruiner, a stylish, top-down cyberpunk action game where you play as a silent protagonist in a violent, dystopian world. With fast-paced combat, brutal difficulty, and an eerie cyberpunk aesthetic, Ruiner captures the essence of its genre, but didn't gain widespread attention. The fluid combat and dystopian narrative make it a standout for fans of challenging action games. Ghost of a Tale. In this charming action RPG, players take on the role of Tilo, a mouse minstrel in a medieval fantasy world. The game focuses on stealth, exploration, and story-driven gameplay, with beautiful environments and character designs. Despite its gorgeous visuals and engaging world, Ghost of a Tale remains an underappreciated gem. Shadow Tactics: Blades of the Shogun. A real-time tactics game set in Edo period Japan, where players control a group of skilled assassins. The game blends stealth and strategy as players navigate enemy camps and complete objectives. The game's depth, challenging levels, and unique characters make it a hidden gem for fans of tactical and stealth-based gameplay. Sunless Sea, a narrative-driven exploration game set in a gothic, Lovecraftian version of Victorian London. Players command a ship navigating dark, mysterious seas filled with strange creatures and dangerous ports. Sunless Sea is driven by a deep narrative, and the choices players make lead to different outcomes, making each journey feel unique and perilous. Grim Dawn. An action RPG set in a dark, post-apocalyptic world, Grim Dawn draws inspiration from Diablo, with deep character customization, loot-focused gameplay, and a grim atmosphere. The game offers multiple classes, builds, and replayability through its complex mechanics. Despite having a loyal fanbase, it hasn't achieved the widespread acclaim it deserves. A first-person survival horror game from the makers of Amnesia: The Dark Descent, Soma is set in an underwater facility where players uncover disturbing truths about consciousness and identity. While the game delivers eerie atmosphere and tension-filled exploration, its focus on philosophical themes makes it stand out from traditional horror games. Unfortunately, it remains underappreciated. A cinematic action-adventure game loosely based on the Chinese novel, Journey to the West, Enslaved features beautiful environments, fluid combat, and a strong narrative. Players control Monkey, a lone fighter, as he helps a woman named Trip navigate a post-apocalyptic world overrun by robots. Though praised for its story and visuals, Enslaved flew under the radar when it was released. Vampire, set in 1918 London during the Spanish flu pandemic, players take on the role of Dr. Jonathan Reed, a newly turned vampire who must balance his thirst for blood with his duty as a doctor. Vampire blends action RPG elements with moral choices, as players must decide whether to embrace their vampiric nature or try to save lives. Its atmosphere and decision-based gameplay make it a hidden gem. While it gained some recognition, NieR Automata still deserves more mainstream attention for its unique combination of hack-and-slash combat, existential storytelling, and philosophical questions about life, death, and consciousness. The game offers multiple endings and shifts between genres, blending traditional action RPG mechanics with shoot-'em-up sections and more. The Sexy Brutal, a time loop puzzle adventure where players must relive the same day over and over, trying to stop the murder of guests at a casino mansion. Players must use stealth and observation to solve puzzles and alter the timeline. The Sexy Brutal is a cleverly designed game with a unique premise, but it was overshadowed by larger releases at the time of its launch. Mutant Year Zero: Road to Eden, a tactical strategy game that mixes XCOM-style combat with real-time exploration. Mutant Year Zero is set in a post-apocalyptic world where players control a team of mutants. Its blend of stealth, turn-based strategy, and narrative-driven gameplay make it a standout, but it hasn't reached a wide audience. Everspace, a roguelike space shooter that focuses on fast-paced combat, exploration, and resource management. Players control a ship as they explore randomly generated galaxies, upgrade their ship, and battle hostile forces. The game's mix of roguelike mechanics and beautiful space environments makes it a unique experience, though it remains niche. Children of Morta, a beautifully crafted action RPG that focuses on family. Children of Morta follows the Bergson family as they fight to protect their home from an ancient evil. The game combines roguelike mechanics with a rich narrative that explores the bonds between family members. With its striking pixel art and emotional storytelling, it's a game that more people should play. Sons of the Forest, a survival horror game and the sequel to The Forest. Players are stranded on a remote island filled with hostile mutants and must gather resources, build shelter, and survive. Sons of the Forest builds on the original's mechanics with improved graphics, crafting systems, and multiplayer options, offering a deeply immersive survival experience. And there you have it, 30 underrated games that deserve way more love than they got. Whether you're into deep RPGs, intense action, or beautifully crafted indie titles, there's something on this list for everyone. So, if you're looking for your next gaming obsession, definitely give these a try. Let me know in the comments which one caught your eye, or if you've already played some of these hidden gems. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more gaming content, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.